you manifest cooler experiences, you manifest more opportunities for yourself. I actually went to Kenya Moore's hair spa, and then when I get there, Kenya is actually there, and I'm outgoing enough to chop it up with her and be natural. And now, if I went to that appointment with the confidence I had a few months ago, I probably would have been too shy to actually say anything impressionable. So to now be face to face with her and we're having a great interaction, she's telling me I look beautiful, I needed that. And if I was so shy, I would have never have had that interaction. But being able to know deep down that you are cool, you are worthy, you are interesting to talk to, it does make all the difference. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Mindfully Aligned. I know it's been a minute. I'm so happy to be back though. Basically, I've been taking the last few weeks to enjoy and close out my summer. I've also been trying to dial back on stress. If you follow me on socials, you'll see that I shared my stage 4 endometriosis diagnosis. It's a rare case. That's going to be a whole separate video and journey. But basically, in order to deal with it, I've been really trying to dial back on my stress because that is an inflammatory disease and it is also made worse with stress. So yeah, I definitely took the last 2 months to chill, but I'm back and I have some things to say. Now, I know that dealing with a chronic illness, it brings a lot of fatigue, it brings a lot of issues that take a toll on pretty much every other aspect of your life, and how it just changes how you show up in the world and how you show up for yourself. And I've been dealing with this for some time. Half of the time, I didn't even know I had it, but that's another story again. So when dealing with a chronic illness, it's important to figure out how to keep pushing along, how to keep doing the things you want to do, because you know what, no matter what my diagnosis is, no matter what I'm struggling with, I refuse to give up on my dreams. I refuse to give up on the things that I said I want to do, the things that I promised myself I want to do. And so that required me to really think about how I want to push through and what showing up for myself means despite all the disadvantages put up against me. And that brings me to today's episode, which is becoming obsessed with yourself. Now, I know you might be thinking, oh my God, that sounds a little crazy. Like, what do you mean obsessed with yourself? Let me tell you something. When you are obsessed with yourself, you are more concerned with the things that you're doing, things you're accomplishing, and the results that you put out. Right? When I was more obsessed with myself, I was spending more time in the gym, I was eating healthier, I was on this anti-inflammatory diet because I wanted to for my health. Little did I know that actually helps your endometriosis so much, but I didn't even know. I was just doing it to do it. Now come to find out I have this diagnosis, I should be going back to that. So all in all, you just need to be obsessed with yourself, because when you're paying more attention to yourself, you get more results. Now, I know that sounds a little crazy because society doesn't want us to be obsessed with ourselves. Society doesn't want... let's be honest, the patriarchy. The patriarchy does not want women to be obsessed with themselves. They think that we're conceited, they think that we're whatever, and you know what? That's because they don't want you to really win and thrive. They don't want you to put yourself first. They want you to put a man first. They want you to put servitude first. They want you to put other people first. And that leaves you empty. That leaves everyone else's cups full and yours empty. Especially if you have a chronic illness like me, if you have an empty cup, things are falling apart. So I had to really sit with myself and be like, okay, I need to get back to that. I need to get back to being pro Adonze. When you are pro you, when you are obsessed with you, you are no longer putting yourself also in positions to fail. You're no longer putting yourself with people who don't serve you. When I was in that relationship I've talked about in a couple episodes, I no longer was obsessed with myself. That is when things really took a turn. I became more preoccupied with this relationship. That's the external world. If you lose obsession with yourself, it's because you are becoming preoccupied with the external world. Whether it's what people are saying about you, this friendship that's not working out, this relationship that's not working out, the job that's stressing you out, you are now preoccupied with the external world and you are giving yourself crumbs. Now let's flip that around. I got to prioritize myself first. I got to obsess over myself first, because if Adonze is not right, nothing else is right. If I'm not prioritizing how I present myself, when I pull up to work and I'm looking a mess, my output is not going to be the best either. When I'm not prioritizing myself and I'm in a relationship, I am also putting myself last in that relationship. Now, that's not saying to be a bad person. Of course not. If you're watching this, chances are you are not a bad person at heart. chances are naturally you do put people first, because that is what we're often programmed to do. So this is kind of unlearning that people-pleasing behavior, unlearning that outwardly obsession with the external world. Let's take another example. If I was so obsessed with what people thought of me, I would not be speaking to you right now. I would not be recording my podcast. I would not be putting out content. I would not be living my truth. Because I'm re-obsessed with myself now and I don't care about the outside world, I'm more so concerned with fulfilling my needs, my wishes, and my dreams. This is something I want to do, I'm going to do it, and I'm not even thinking about what people may think negatively about it. I don't care, because it's not what I say. I don't care. And that's the thing. Now it's easier to clear the noise because I'm more obsessed with myself. I am also able to put more attention to detail to things. So now I've been noticing I'm really trying to curate a style. I'm really trying to make how I dress a reflection of what I love in the world, like what I think is beautiful, instead of just putting something on and going. When you have chronic fatigue like I do, it is very, very easy to put something on and go because you do not have the energy. Or it's also easy to let your room fall into disarray because you do not have the energy. But when you do that repeatedly, you are constantly letting yourself be in a state of just depletion and being down, because maybe you're trying to feel better, but you look around your room, it's a mess. Maybe you're trying to present yourself better, but you look around your closet and nothing fits right. The style doesn't even make sense for who you are inside. It's just following trends. Of course, you're not going to feel great. So it's kind of like a cycle that perpetuates itself. So now I took a step back and I was like, wait, I don't want to just let this disease win. I do not want to let this condition win. I do not want to let all the things I've been through in life or this year alone stack up against me and win. Hell no, I got things to do. I got dreams to accomplish, and I have her to become. Her being your higher self. I am still on the journey of becoming my higher self, and I can't lose sight of that no matter what is thrown my way. In fact, that gives me even more of a reason to push forward, because my higher self, the person that I envision is at the top of the mountain looking down at me climbing back up, who has been through the whole journey, she also fought through her endometriosis diagnosis. She also went through all the things I just went through, and she went through everything that I will go through, and that shaped her to become who she is. So why would I let my current self become defeated by the things that are thrown my way? No. That means that I have even more reason to push forward, because I have to prove to myself that I can become her. I will never let go of the things I want to do and the woman I want to become. And we have to stop wearing our trauma. I look back on some of the roughest times and you can see it in my face. You can see it in how I'm doing my hair. You can see it in how I'm dressing and how I'm pulling up to work. No, I'm not letting it win. I might be going through something, and it's okay to be present in that. It's okay to feel that, but don't let it win. I'm still gonna now let myself be cute, because when you look good, you feel good. Everyone knows that. I'm still going to make time for the things that I love, because that is what waters my soul. Do not let whatever you're going through win and take away what waters your soul. Okay, so I actually finished recording, but I came back because I wanted to add this. If you saw my socials, I actually went to Kenya Moore's hair spa while I was visiting Atlanta last week, and it was an absolutely amazing experience. I actually was with Kenya herself. She was helping detangle my hair. We were chopping it up, and it was a really great interaction, especially as someone who is a fan of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, I bring this up because how I got there is really crucial to the message of this episode. The beauty of being a little bit obsessed with yourself is that you genuinely think that you are cool. You genuinely think that you have something to offer in your interactions with people and in conversations. You have more to share. And I've noticed myself as an introvert and as an Aquarius, I have been actually putting myself out there in situations more now, because I've genuinely realized that I actually do have something interesting to say. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog fidgeting in the background. He is with me. And now, because I actually find myself to be cool or find myself to be worthy, I'm willing to put myself out there more. I was actually able to reach out to the hair page book an appointment, call them directly, line it up right. And then when I get there, Kenya's actually there and I'm outgoing enough to chop it up with her and be natural. And now, if I went to that appointment with the confidence I had a few months ago, I probably would have been too shy to actually say anything impressionable or make a mark at all. But because I've actually been investing in myself, I was able to chop it up with her, have a good time. She even wrote a whole glowing thing about me on her page. And I was like, wow, I must have made an actually great impression. And if you guys have been following along with me, you know that I have definitely come a long way. I shared in January how I've been really trying to work on, managing my introvertedness. So to actually talk to someone who I actually have looked up to since I was a kid, she's so beautiful and she's so successful. Granted, think about this, when I was a kid, she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta and I didn't know what was going on in the show, but I knew that she looked so beautiful and I wanted to look just like her. So to now be face to face with her and we're having a great interaction, she's telling me I look beautiful, I needed that. And if I was so shy, I would have never have had that interaction. There's nothing wrong with being shy. I am too. But being able to know deep down that you are cool, you are worthy, you are interesting to talk to, it does make all the difference. So overall, that just kind of goes into the whole point that when you are actually investing in yourself, when you are obsessed with yourself and you genuinely think that you are cool and have something to bring to the table, you manifest cooler experiences, you manifest more opportunities for yourself. It's literally the law of attraction. Anyways, back to the rest of the episode. I could not make this point without telling this story, of course. So yeah, it's really important, I think, to be a little obsessed with yourself because it allows you to have more attention to detail in your life. It allows you to really notice where you're falling short, what are the things that make you feel good, how do I do more of it, how do I eliminate the things that don't. And that is when you really are truly feeling your best. And don't let anyone tell you different. You are supposed to care about yourself. You are supposed to put you first, because if you do not put yourself first, you're last. And that's when things fall apart, and we're not doing that around here. So yeah, let me know if this resonates. Drop a comment below and tell me if you feel like you've lost sight of yourself, or what are some ways you feel like you've been falling short, or what are some ways you have been showing up for yourself, because we're all on this journey together and I want to know where you're at, because you know where I'm at. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. This week's song of the week is Conceited by Remy Ma. It's a good one. I mean, it's in the title, Conceited. She is just, it's on my manifestation playlist. It's on my baddie playlist. It's on all my playlists because it's just that girl. It's that girl. You are conceited. You look in the mirror, you know you look good because you're conceited. Exactly. And we're reappropriating that term. It's not a bad thing. It means that you care about yourself. Thank you. Also, guys, make sure to follow along on the Mindfully Aligned podcast Instagram, because I'm going to be doing a content series on there all about becoming obsessed with yourself and upgrading every aspect of your life despite what you're going through. So tune in. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things, show all the love, and I'll see you next episode. Bye.